PIR stands for Panel Impact Ratio, and as the name implies, it means the amount of product that will end up on the car panels. But what is PIR, and why is calculating the correct PIR so important, as opposed to just diluting a product at a specific ratio like 1 to 10 or 1 to 8? The reason that using the correct PIR is so important when dealing with pressure washers and snow foam cannons is that not all pressure washers are made equal. Every pressure washer will have a different pressure rating and a different flow rate, and it's these factors that will have an effect on the amount of foam produced and, more importantly, affect the amount of product that ends up on your car. Now, you don't need to be Albert Einstein to work this out. There's loads of PIR videos and PIR guides out there, but they're extremely complicated. This is the least complicated way to calculate PIR. The cool thing about this as well is that once you've done your calculation, you don't need to do it again, unless of course you change your pressure washer or your snow foam cannon. So let's get started. First off, we're going to need a few bits. A bucket. This is an 18.9 litre bucket if you're in the UK, or a 5-gallon bucket if you're in the US. We're also going to need a snow foam cannon. Now, reservoir capacity makes a difference in these calculations, as you'll see. Now, this one has a 1 litre reservoir. We're going to also need a measuring jug for the product once we've done our calculations. We're going to need some weighing scales as well to measure the water. Remember that 1 kilogram is equal to 1 litre of water, so using a weighing scales is a very simple method of measuring water capacity. And finally, we're going to need a pad and also a pen to write down the calculations. Now, the calculation looks like this. We need to multiply the total volume by the recommended PIR percentage to get the correct amount of product. The recommended PIR percentage will be stated on the product bottle, as shown here on the Built Amber Auto Foam bottle. So we know the recommended PIR percentages, but we need to figure out the total volume in order to calculate the correct amount of product for the recommended PIR. Total volume relates to the total volume of water dispensed by your pressure washer when emptying a full snow foam cannon's reservoir. So we need to first fill the snow foam cannon's reservoir with only water up to the 1 litre mark. Next, we need to fill the bucket, continuing to fill the bucket until the snow foam cannon's reservoir is completely empty. Now, we've obviously speeded up this footage quite considerably, but you'll notice that the contents within the snow foam cannon's reservoir is decreasing. And once the reservoir is empty, the water in the bucket will represent the total volume, which we then need to measure using those trusty weighing scales. Now, remember to zero the weighing scales to take into account the weight of the bucket itself. Or if you happen to know the weight of the bucket, which I do, in this case it's 800 grams, you can just deduct the weight of the bucket from the overall weight. As you can see, we've got 13.1 kilograms showing on the scales. I'm going to minus that 800 grams, which represents the bucket, because I didn't zero the weighing scales before starting. And that gives us a total of 12.3 kilograms, or 12.3 liters, or 12,300 milliliters. So if we go back to our calculation now, we know that the total volume is 12,300 milliliters. And according to the Built Amber Auto Foam instructions, which is the product that we're using, the recommended PIR percentage is between 1% and 5%, depending on how dirty the vehicle is. 1% being the cleanest, 5% being the dirtiest. Armed with this information, we can now calculate the amount of product we need to put in our snow foam cannon's reservoir. If using the 1% PIR recommendation, then the calculation would be 12,300 milliliters times 0.01%, which gives us 123 milliliters of product. This means that in a 1 litre snow foam cannon reservoir you would use 123 milliliters of product. If you happen to have a snow foam cannon with a reservoir of only 500 milliliters, then you can simply halve this number to meet the recommended PIR. And from there you can simply adjust the recommended PIR percentage of the product that you're using to suit how dirty or how clean the vehicle that you're detailing is. I like to make a note of these results so that I don't have to do these calculations often, unless of course I change a pressure washer or snow foam cannon or even the product. With the product being the most likely to change, as I don't make a habit of changing pressure washers or snow foam cannons very often. Calculating PIR is really as simple as that. The hardest part is calculating the total volume, but once you have this, using your product's recommended PIR percentage, it should be easy to calculate all your PIR variations to suit whatever situation you're in while detailing a vehicle. And making a note of all these variations means you can switch on the fly depending on how dirty or clean the vehicle is that you're detailing. And that is it for this episode. We appreciate your time and support as always. Now we also aim to release a new video every 1 to 2 weeks, so please remember to like, subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notifications. Thank you